How do you tell a person the best way you can that you're sorry? Especially when it's hot outside and you're cranky. It's Rob and Lizz in the morning. Harlan in for Liz. We are his radio. This one person put their message on a cake. And this message on a cake that is apparently to somebody who they told something. I don't know what happened, what the event was that took place, but they're very sorry. So they printed their message on a cake.
Yeah. It said, "I'm sorry for what I said when it was 109 degrees outside." I mean,
nothing says I apologize than putting your message on a cake. A nice cake that you like. Yeah?
This happened at the H-E-B in Texas. Now, coming from Texas, H-E-B is where you get your cakes. Okay,
so it's a big grocery store, basically, with a bakery.
It is,
okay.
Yes. But it's very Texas, okay? So anything from there is clearly just Texas. And in Texas, it gets hotter than anywhere else I've ever lived, which means that people are trying to be as nice as they can within their angry, hot selves.
Okay.
Because you're just walking around and you're like, oh, why am I? You don't go outside.
Yeah, you're really sweaty. You can't go anywhere.
Right. You don't go outside.
Armpit sweat just happens sitting still in Texas, evidently.
Yes, it does. In the middle of the summer, 109 degrees. Yeah, you tend to say things you shouldn't. So why not write it on a cake?
And they did. It was nice. Apparently, it was well received. Even Scott has seen interesting messages on cakes.
I laugh at this one every time I see the picture. And before I tell you what was on the cake, I can imagine the conversation. So somebody calls the store and says they want a sheet cake. Okay, great. What do you want written on it? And the person says nothing. So they went to the store to get the cake, and guess what was on the cake? The word nothing on the cake.
You get what you get. You don't throw a fit.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
Growing up, when you're hanging out with the friends, what did you call your group? It's Rob and Liz in the morning. Harlan's filling in for Liz this week. It's his radio. I have a feeling Harlan was in some kind of a group.
I was not in some.
Really?
I mean, there was like 3 of us, and we just hung out.
And you didn't call the 3 of you anything whatsoever.
In trouble.
That's
what we called each other.
In trouble. That's what it was. That's quite the name. The In Troubles.
In Troubles a lot.
In Troubles. So this was Zoe growing up. So what was it for you, Zoe?
Yes, and we had T-shirts for it. We were called the Fantastic Six Chicks in middle school. It was a very embarrassing time. So we were the Fantastic Six Chicks and Vanessa.
Oh, so there were 7 of you. Fantastic 6 Chicks and Vanessa. So somebody came into the fold along the way after the T-shirts were made.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
I'm not that creative when it comes to names for text groups. It's Rob and Liz in the morning. His radio. Harlan's in for Liz. I'll give you an example. I have a small group from summer camp of freshman young men going into high school. You want to know the name of the text group?
I do.
You ready?
Yeah.
Summer camp group.
There it is.
That's it. So what does Ninja have for the text group with her siblings?
We're the OG3.
The OG3. That's creative.
What is like the Olive Garden 3? Like you like to eat pastas?
You know what OG is?
Original.
Thank you, Ninja.
Oh, OG in my book is the Olive Garden. You know.
I can't. I just can't. No.
That's what it stands for.
No.
But I like
Olive
Ninja's
Garden.
original.
Yes.
I didn't know.
OG3.
I didn't know.
For the text group with her, and is it brother and sister?
Yes.
Yeah, so her siblings.
The original
OG
3.
That's right.
Okay.
The OG3.
But do you like going to the Olive Garden?
What's that got to do?
The OG, that's what it is.
The Olive Garden 3. Evidently, she likes 3 Olive Gardens on the planet. That's there. So here's Amy at 800-447-7234. Okay, this is a group of you growing up in high school.
So there was 4 of us, and so we were playing off of the quad. So we were A Squad. That was our group. Amy, Allie, Ashley, and Anna.
Oh, how funny. You all started with A.
Yes, and we became the best of friends throughout high school.
So what happened if you met somebody else and their name didn't start with A?
They couldn't be in the group.
Oh.
I hear that.
Mm-hmm.
I hear that. So do y'all still keep in touch now?
Just through Facebook occasionally. We kind of follow each other, but we haven't been together since high school.
Time for an A Squad reunion.
Yes, I think so too.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
Those names you give your groups.
I am just not creative. Seriously. So I made a group text with our small group during summer camp. And it's called Summer Camp.
That's good. I mean, at
That's
least
it.
you know who you're texting.
And then I have summer camp parents because I sent pictures home with for the parents to see what was going on at summer camp. And so then I hear Ninja, who has such a creative name for the text group that she has with her brother and sister.
The OG3.
The OG3, the original 3.
Yeah.
The OG3. Who came up with that, Ninja?
I did.
I see.
So creative.
I need to consult Ninja when I'm making text groups. I've got another one. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
I have a part of a small group at our church. It's most of the worship team in the small group. You want to know what the small group name is? You ready for this?
Oh, yeah.
You'll love it. Small group.
That's awesome. It's like a carpool group.
Small group. And then Jake has one. I like Jake's.
It's called The Crew, but instead of the, it's DA, so it's The Crew.
Duh crew.
Duh crew, because it's
See?
cooler to duh than the.
Yeah. So we get an open mic through the My HISRadio app, which you can download Google Play in the App Store. So this comes in from the open mic on the My HISRadio app.
In our family's Facebook Messenger group, there's probably about 20 of us. We live all over. And our name is the Ratchet Family.
The Ratchet family.
There it is.
Yeah, like
Look.
they're like tools.
Yeah.
Ratchets.
We've also got text coming in. You can always text us, 800-447-7234. Terry texted in, said their group is called The Hearts. It's a group of 5 ladies that met at church. They have small children, and they have been friends for 30 years and still make sure to see each other once a month. And they just love each other so much.
I like that.
The Hearts.
They're still connected and still close by enough that they can get together. The Hearts. See, that's creative.
It is more creative than,
Small group.
yeah.
Right? Small group. We got to get more creative. Okay, here's Kenny. What about you, Kenny?
Talking about the group thing, me and my friends, we would call it 213. It's a funny story. My name's really Kenneth, and one of my friends, his name was Kenneth, and one of our other friends' name was Keith, and my nickname was Keith. So we were all hanging together, but the other Kenneth, he was we call him Shorty. He always wanted to be number 1, but I was number 1. So I let him be the 2 and go first, and then I was the 1. And Keith was the youngest, so he was the 3. So that's how we came up with the 213.
Sounds like you were inseparable with 213.
Still are today, over 20-some plus years, almost 30 years we've been friends, connected.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
So they have this big fair, and the fair is in Illinois, the state fair. In this fair, there's been a tradition for the past 102 fairs, and it would be this, a butter cow.
Why?
It's not a cow that makes butter. It's a cow made out of butter, and Sarah was the one who made the cow out of butter. And it's 800 pounds, and it's a big thing. It's done every year. People come by the masses to come and see the butter cow. Not only do they come to see it in person, there's a live stream of the 800-pound butter cow.
Oh, yeah. You can watch it live as it sits there and does nothing.
It's a butter thing. Yeah.
Why? Why are we wasting so much butter?
It's called tradition. This is what the Illinois State Fair does.
What I want to know is what they do when they're done with it. Like, does everybody grab a knife and a piece of toast?
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Yeah, back in my day, we played hacky sack at lunch. These kids are going to the bank at lunch.
Literally.
Real bank put in their school. It's a credit union, and they've decided to build an actual bank in a school, a local school in Greer, South Carolina, that allows these kids to have real debit cards with real money, which blows my mind because my kids are just a few years away from high school, and I just don't see them being responsible enough for this, but that's another story. So they have everything for the teachers and students that they need to have a checking account, to open it, to spend money, use the debit card. It's a real bank, and it's just in their school.
I'm hearing some high schools are doing this. So literally they're partnering with some federal credit unions that are inside their city, putting them in the schools. It's the bank tellers are students and some faculty. And so they've got adult supervision in case somebody's going, wait a minute, students are running this thing? And you can open up a checking or a savings account and even take a credit card, not a credit card, a debit card. So you can get a debit card that you have, spending money on for lunch.
Yeah. And it gives great experience to the kiddos who are working at the bank. That's a great life skill. They can walk out of high school with a resume that says, I've already worked at a bank. Like
right?
A real bank with the name to back it and everything. I think, look, when you're ready to leave high school, that's a skill you want to have.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
It takes a lot to embarrass me. It's Rob and Lizz in the morning. I'm Harlan filling in for Liz. She gets to be on vacation this week.
It takes a lot to
So
get
much.
Harlan embarrassed?
So much.
How so?
I don't know.
You just sure of yourself. Confidence. That's a good thing.
I'm a little overconfident sometimes. But also, I mean, who are you to embarrass me? I don't know. Maybe that's not the greatest attitude. But
Here's one thing that I'm reading, that being embarrassed actually is good for us.
Oh, wait, then I'm not. Okay.
It's good for us.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you learn from embarrassment of things not to do again. Actually, scientists are studying this whole thing about being embarrassed. It's really wild to think, but they say that that's an emotion that helps prevent making mistakes in the future.
That's why I make a lot of mistakes.
But you're not embarrassed over it.
I know. That's
It says
the
it's a
problem.
good thing to be embarrassed. And if you think about it, empathy is a thing. There's not a lot of people that empathize with others anymore, it seems like. And that supposedly is a good thing. And they say it dates back to the beginning of human existence, which I think, human existence starts with God.
Right.
Creation is real. And it's been input into us on how do we get wisdom, how do we learn, and it's things like this, and embarrassment's a part of it.
All right, so now I've done a lot wrong, and I've learned from those things, but I don't know that I'm always embarrassed by them. So maybe I should be embarrassed a little more and learn from those things.
If you want to be embarrassed, go right ahead.
I mean, then I'd have to do something foolish, so.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
I've been seeing the pictures like you and the images coming out of Hawaii, and my heart just breaks. It's Rob and Lizz in the morning. His radio Harlan from Brian and Harlan is with us this morning. Actually, all week since Liz is on vacation. And to hear this news, I mean, lives are just devastated, and they've lost everything. I mean, family members are gone, businesses are gone, homes are gone, and the wildfires are just horrendous right now in Maui.
Yeah, the one thing that we don't want them to lose is their hope, right? And so we want to be there for them as much as we can. We can't go traveling over there right now, but Convoy of Hope is already there, and they are an amazing ministry partner with His Radio, and anything that we can do, anything that we can give to help these amazing people through this devastating tragedy. They said it's the worst in
U.S.
a
history.
Century?
Yeah, in our history. It's. I mean, that's saying something. This
can't
isn't a little
fathom
island
that.
of Hawaii.
Yeah, no, it's a big thing. And so we want to be there supplying food and water and shelter and needs that these people may have or do have. And so if you want to be a part of that, I really encourage you. You can text the word HOPE right now to 800-447-7234. When you do that, I'm going to send you a little link, and you can fill it out and know that everything that you are giving today is going straight to Convoy of Help to help these people. It's going to Hawaii.
They got there quick. I mean, literally, they are hands and feet on the ground helping to meet the need, and they do it because of Jesus. That's their heart's cry. So if you can help out in any way the need that's going on in Hawaii right now with our partners, Convoy of Hope, just text that word HOPE and a link will come right to you. The word is HOPE, 800-447-7234. That's 800-447-7234. And we thank you so much for helping out the need that's happening right now in Hawaii. 2, 3, 4. How do you tell a person the best way you can that you're sorry? Especially when it's hot outside and you're cranky. It's Rob and Lizz in the morning. Harlan in for Liz. We are His Radio. This one person put their message on a cake. And this message on a cake that is apparently to somebody who they told something. I don't know what happened, what the event was that took place, but they're very sorry. So they printed their message on a cake.
Yeah. It said, "I'm sorry for what I said when it was 109 degrees outside." I mean,
nothing says I apologize than putting your message on a cake, a nice cake that you like. Yeah.
This happened at the HEB in Texas. Now, coming from Texas, HEB is where you get your cakes. Okay,
so it's a big grocery store basically with a bakery.
It is, okay. Yes. But it's very Texas, okay? So anything from there is clearly just Texas. And in Texas, it gets hotter than anywhere else I've ever lived, which means that people are trying to be as nice as they can within their angry, hot selves.
Okay.
Because you're just walking around and you're like, oh, why am I? You don't go outside.
Yeah, you're really sweaty. You can't go anywhere.
Right. You don't go outside.
Armpit sweat just happens sitting still in Texas, evidently.
Yes, it does. In the middle of the summer, 109 degrees. Yeah, you tend to say things you shouldn't. So why not write it on a cake?
And they did. It was nice. Apparently, it was well received. Even Scott has seen interesting messages on cakes.
I laugh at this one every time I see the picture. And before I tell you what was on the cake, I can imagine the conversation. So somebody calls the store and says they want a sheet cake. Okay, great. What do you want written on it? And the person says nothing. So they went to the store to get the cake, and guess what was on the cake? The word nothing on the cake.
You get what you get. You don't throw a fit.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
I don't know what kind of group thing that you've been involved in before. Like, I don't know, group building, team building. I think that's what I'm looking for. Like escape rooms or doing those high lines, that you walk on.
Ropes courses.
Yeah, all that stuff. That's fun. I don't know if you've ever been to anything like that. Rob and Lizz in the morning. Harlan's in for Liz. We're His Radio. There's this Girl Scout troop that put together S'mores-a-Palooza. And they set a world record for as many people at the same time to make s'mores. This was their team building that they did.
Sounds amazing because s'mores are the best. And they partnered with a company called Solo. It's
a Solo stove.
Yeah, so it's like a single little tiny stove, and so they all had to come near each other to do this. It wasn't like a big fire pit.
There was 500 of them.
Isn't that crazy?
Solo stoves, 500 of those things, 891 people altogether made s'mores.
And ate them. Probably made more than one, if we're being honest, because who just has one s'mores?
That's tough. You've got to have quite a few.
At least two, because if you touch a whole graham cracker, and then it's yours, so you have two. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because the graham cracker is big, right?
Yeah, it's
so
big.
You grab two of those, which automatically makes two full sandwiches.
You have there to. You go. And she's really thought this out.
And one Hershey's bar. There it is.
That's a s'more.
Yeah.
She explained a s'more to full detail.
No, like a whole Hershey's bar. You don't share that either. I'm just making it clear that when you eat a s'mores, you have to eat at least two. Have to.
So that was their team building.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of team building you've ever done at 800-447-7234. I've done the axe throwing thing.
Yeah, we did that.
Yeah. So there's been that. Escape rooms seem to be really fun.
Do you feel like when you're in an escape room that you build a bond with somebody? Because
sometimes you get frustrated with people.
I imagine if you can't get me out of that room fast enough, you're going to not.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
I get it. Some people like their snacks, and then some snacks get very creative, but I don't know. I think this is probably just stepping over the line a little bit, going too far. It's Rob and Lizz in the morning. Harlan in for Liz this week. We're His Radio.
Absolutely not. Someone has finally seen the beauty in Cheetos and has decided to make a clothesline out of it.
Clothesline?
Yes.
So you put it in your backyard, and then you hang your clothes off it to dry.
No, sir. Coral Castello, you might know her from Project Runway. She's a super designer. She has created a line of clothes to just put together the beauty that is a Cheeto in shoes, in purses, in a whole line of things. You can see the whole collection. It's called Macrame Collection.
Macrame.
Isn't it because macaroni, and then, yeah, it's a whole thing.
Okay.
She's got fanny packs, high top sneakers, and they're all inspired by Cheetos mac and cheese, like the Flamin' Hot, the jalapeno. So there's some regular, extra cheesy. So there's some yellow,
I
some
have a
green,
quick
some
question.
red. Oh, they're so cute.
Quick question, because I'm looking at these. Are they knitted?
They are
this
kind
yarn?
of because it embodies that Cheeto look without the powder. So no, it's not going to get your hands dirty.
So how do they make this out of Cheetos?
They don't make it out of Cheetos. It just looks like Cheetos. They've kind of used a yarn inspired.
Well, then how
texture.
can you eat these?
You don't eat them. You have to buy the Cheetos at the gas station to eat, and then you wear these. So it's very special.
Well, I get it. I mean, they're making shoes out of food and stuff, but
no, these aren't those.
and I wouldn't eat anything that I wear on my feet. I mean, that just doesn't sound right.
But you don't eat these. You wear them.
But they're Cheetos. You
No,
said
no,
they're Cheetos
Cheeto
made clothes.
Inspired. They're inspired.
So somebody was inspired to use Cheetos to make clothing.
No, sir. Somebody, this wonderful designer, Coral Castello, was inspired while eating Cheetos, I'm sure, to design something that looked and resembled and put in the whole ambiance of a Cheeto in a shoe.
Okay, out of thread.
Well, kind
like
of.
yarn.
Yeah, the yarn.
Okay.
Ish.
So this is now a shoe made out of yarn.
Oh, yeah. Kind of.
I would call that a slipper.
No. It's a high top shoe.